Here's second round. Here we go again, Nintendo. What is it that I am complaining about right now? Well, let's see what I'm complaining about here. And you know what, Nintendo? I already know what it is that I am complaining about. And you know what that is? It's that interview that Reggie Filled AIM had with GeekSquire Summit. And you know what? I can tell that information was completely false than what you said. This is the second day that I am bringing out my anger upon you as a company because of what one person said. And when one person says something that angered the customers, it makes you look bad as a company. And it ruins your image. It ruins the image of the company. To get a bunch of angry customers, and look what you draw. Look at what you're doing, Nintendo. Look at what has happened here. You need to fix this problem. You need to do something about this and stop lying about your company and the Nintendo Switch. It's worthy to actually be in the competition between Sony and Microsoft, and yet you're the ones who are saying that it's just a family console, and you want to just step back into a wall and not bother with any of this. To me, that just sounds messed up. It's messed up in the head. And I'll say just how I want that to come out. Because it's the honest truth. You think I'm just gonna go back? You think I'm gonna sit back here and just say, wow, Nintendo wants to keep the Nintendo Switch out of the competition between Sony and Microsoft. Ooh. I didn't know Nintendo was a family company and didn't want anything to do with competition. Wow, that is so nice of you, Nintendo. Why don't you care about the customers? Why don't you care that you want to be in second place of Sony like you used to? Why is it that you are stepping behind a wall and you're saying that the Nintendo Switch is not competition worthy? Why the heck would you say that on GeekSquire Summit? Why would you do it, Nintendo? Why would you do it? And as I said before, we're going to have a riot between your customers and the company, and this needs to stop. Alright? This needs to stop now. As I said before, I do not like the image that you have. I do not like what you have done so far. I'm glad you have the Nintendo Switch out here. And I'm glad way at the beginning that it was supposed to be part of keeping in the game with the other two companies. And now, on GeekSquire Summit, Reggie says it's not contest worthy. It's a family console. It's not meant to compete with Sony and PlayStation. Or Sony and Microsoft, excuse me. And yet you're the ones who are just saying that the Nintendo Switch out there is for you to enjoy as a family console and nothing more. And yet, why are you developing another one in the second half of 2019? The new one that's improved, can handle more system memory, and can handle those extra good AAA games that we're supposed to be getting. And you're saying that it's not competing with Sony and Microsoft? What the heck is wrong? Why the heck would you go out and say that? First of all, you need to look at what Reggie has been saying. And second, I encourage you to watch Review Tech USA. And his video is on the stupid crap that Reggie Film Ames has said on Geek Squire Summit. And he's about as furious as customers would be when they see that a product that they own from their trusted company, and they say that it's not competition worthy. There's something wrong with that. It's not making you look good as a company. And I'm probably sure I might be right on this, but I believe that there would people be saying that the Switch is just going to be like the Wii U, and that the Switch is just going to be another failure. Well, the Wii U wasn't contest worthy. It was a big failure. Now you're using the Nintendo Switch, and you're using that as an excuse to say that it's just a family console and it's not competition worthy against Sony and Microsoft. Something is wrong with that. I can certainly tell you straight up, Sony or Nintendo, that whatever you said on Geek Square Summit is a complete explicit lie. Those other two companies say that the Switch is competition worthy, but you're one who steps behind a wall and say, no, it's just a family console. It's just a family console. Well, why did you make it? Why did you make it in the first place? Oh, we wanted to make a better console for the whole entire families out there who have kids and want a great gaming experience, and yeah, that's all we want the Nintendo Switch to be. We just want it to be a family console, nothing more. Not compete with Sony and Microsoft. And yeah, Miyamoto's right. Miyamoto is right. We should not be the Nintendo Switch should not be competing with our fellow companies, because first off, Sony and Microsoft are our friends, and second of all, it's our console, so if we don't want to put it out there in the competition between the two companies, Sony and Microsoft, well, that's our choice. We made the Switch. You can't change anything about that, so yeah, if you don't like what we're doing, then heck with you. You're the customers. We are the ones that made the Nintendo Switch, so yeah, heck with you. First off, Miyamoto is defending Reggie, and I do not like it. He's giving him credit for saying that it's only just a family console. What the heck is wrong with that? And I understand that the competition between two video game companies are going to be tough for Nintendo. I understand. But you at least got to do something to get the Switch back into the competition with Sony and Microsoft. Now, I'm pretty sure that Rich can agree that what I'm saying in this video is it's meant to be said. It's meant to knock some sense into Nintendo. And I'm pretty sure that I'm doing a heck of a good job yelling at Nintendo for their big mistake with that interview from GeekWire Summit. And yeah, and here I am making a second video just yelling at Nintendo like little children who just want to step back into a wall and say like, you know what, we're backing out of the competition. We don't want anything to do with this. We just care about making good products for for families and that stuff. That's all we want to do. We just want to be a family company and not bother with anything else. Excuse me. That's not very good for Nintendo. I can certainly say it is the worst move Nintendo has made. And it's also the worst move that Reggie Fils-Aimé has made. And Shigeru Miyamoto commented on Review Tech USA, and he said, we should not compete with our fellow companies. And that the Nintendo Switch is not meant to compete with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One X. That is just complete crap right there. I don't know how you can live the rest of your time at a company being like that. And eventually you're going to go out of business if you don't step up to the competition and get Nintendo. I will say this. If your company stops making money because the Nintendo Switch is not in the competition like everybody else wants it to, and you realize that you're not getting all that forked over money for your games and for your products, you will probably know why. Heck, you even allowed crossplay. That's the best thing on the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch is the greatest successful console that you guys have made. Sony said it was a creative idea, and so did Microsoft. And they said it's competition worthy. But you're saying that, no, that's not what we want to do with the Nintendo Switch. We just want the Nintendo Switch to be a family console. And when the new Nintendo Switch comes out next year in the second half, and that will also be a family console too. It won't compete with the next generation consoles like the PS5 and the next Xbox One X. So, yeah. We want to provide the best gaming experience for the family, and that's all we want to do. We don't care what other people want. We just want to make good products for the family and that stuff. That's all we care about. And we don't even want to be in any competition with other companies because they're our friends. And when you're in a competition, you make enemies. And that's one thing we won't do. And I could probably understand a little that I don't think Nintendo would want to have competition with Sony and Microsoft because they're afraid that Sony would be jealous of them again. And they probably can't deal with that stress. That might be understandable. But no matter how bad it is, Nintendo, you need to get back in there in the gaming competition with Sony and Microsoft because that's what everybody wants. And if you don't do that, then maybe a bunch of constant complaints is going to make you change your mind. You did it with the Nintendo Switch and you got a bunch of complaints about Nintendo Switch Online. I think you're going to get the Nintendo Switch back in there with the competition and the new Nintendo Switch back in there in the competition when the new Nintendo Switch comes out in the second half of next year, and everybody will be happy again. But, you know what? You have to do right now, Nintendo. You gotta deal with all your customers' complaints right now, because it's not looking good for you right now. Because you just want the Nintendo Switch to be a family console right now, and not in the competition with Sony and Microsoft. So, that's where the complaints are gonna start coming out. And you're gonna be getting a lot of complaints from a bunch of angry Nintendo fan customers, whether you like it or not. And when you get pressured to get the Switch back in there into the competition with Sony and Microsoft, we're just gonna have to push you back into a wall just to get you put the Switch back into the competition with Sony and Microsoft. And then everybody will be happy again because we won the war between you not allowing the Nintendo Switch to be in the competition with Sony and Microsoft with the PS4 and Xbox One X. And once the war between us is the customers and the company is won, we are gonna have so much pride. This is Charles Morse. Have a good day. This has been a video that just needed to get out there. And all of you, have a good day. This is very frustrating. I don't like what has been said on Geek Squire Summit by Reggie Film AIM and the comment on Review Tech USA from Shigeru Miyamoto. They are both bakas. Something about those two employees that work for Nintendo need to have a talk to. Okay, that's all I have to say for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.